Recently, I have been watching animated adventure series that were based on historical true, like people from real life. Fantastical people of myth and legend that changed history. And so, animation, the beautiful medium that makes what we can't do in reality happen in such interesting ways in development, decided to focus on Cleopatra and Jules Verne. Ah. Cleopatra, a famous Egyptian queen from way back when, also a famous character of plays and movies and just, yeah, even the things she hasn't done, just an icon of beauty and strength. Yeah. And Jules Verne is an author. And funny thing about one time I was having a conversation with the dude, and yeah, I hadn't remembered what Jules Verne wrote, and he's like, "Oh, I guess it's not really a girl thing." And then I counteracted by saying that I was more of a H.G. Wells fan because I love The Island of Dr. Moreau, and Time Machine was much more interesting. I know I did, like, what, 100,000 Leagues Under the Sea and 80 Days Around the World? Yeah. The 80s Day story has been used to death. It's quite sad. But yeah, Jules Verne, I don't actually like all that you've done or your writing very much, but I appreciate your legend and all the stuff you made. Like the Jules Verne series, I don't know his work very well, but it is really cute that they have like made every episode based on one of his stories. And there were a lot of interesting like steampunky stories of, undersea crafts with mad captains, circus people wanting to go to the moon. Oh, and I think they just did this because it fit the time period. They actually went to America right after the Confederates lost the war, and oi, yeah. It was the perfect level of cringe, where, yes, they were clearly made bad guys, the accents weren't too terrible. Yeah, even had a sign of slavery, even if it lasted like, I don't know, 12 seconds. That's still longer than anything else I've seen, believe me, in animated like TV shows that were based for kids. So yeah, the stories were very good. The actual animated series is, ugh. First off, it's one of those Italian and like anime inspired styles, so you kind of get used to the weird 2D mixed with flash. Yeah, and the eyes are all anime-like and such. They don't do the anime expressions, but just the designs of it. Ugh. The character's pretty annoying. Yeah. Jules is that, nice guy hero that always has all the great ideas, the only one that seems to have ideas. The most interesting thing is he, was supposed to go to Paris to become a lawyer and he lied to his parents, and now he's going on his like girlfriend's dad's adventures. Yeah, apparently he's some kind of journalist that people always ask to like look at weird stuff. Yeah, I'm not saying they're like, X-Files investigators. Apparently people just want this one guy's opinion because he's published a lot of weird stuff. And the girlfriend is mean and often a damsel in distress, rarely pulls her own weight or is helpful. Pretty annoying, really. Pretty annoying. Yeah. The pace of the show, pretty slow, but at the end of it, at the end of the episodes I've seen, I thought to myself, huh, if that was written with more appealing characters and more, like, interesting animation, then that would have been a pretty cool adventure. I think, yeah, animation is sleeping on what Jules Verne could be doing. God, I just think now that I know a little more about him, I think he has potential. Though I'm also still waiting for the Island of Dr. Moreau movie to come out. There's yet to be a good one. We're due. Oh, and I mentioned Cleopatra in the beginning. Why? Well, I found out that there is a show called Cleopatra in Space. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So, yeah, teenage Cleopatra. She's living that princess life. She's spoiled. She's enjoying it. She's basically a good person, but also kind of a lazy person, except when she gets to, like, jump around and just be ridiculous. For, weird chosen one reasons, she is sent to the future. And it's kind of funny where apparently in the future aliens like bad alien wars have destroyed all history, so no one really remembers her time period and all historical facts of Earth. But the planet she's sent to is kind of based off of, ancient Egypt, or at least in certain Egyptian styles. Like there are talking cats that are the council members. You get that, right? Do I think it's a little cultural appropriation? A bit. I don't know how to claim that because to me, it's kind of like when Nimona, was a futuristic version of an Arthur like time period with knights. So aesthetically, I find it quite pleasing, but part of me just keeps thinking, are actual Egyptians kind of tired of seeing this version of their country being represented? Probably. And to be totally honest, I mostly was interested in clicking on this because I'm such a fan of Cleo Denial from Monster High that I wanted to see a character similar to her. And similar she was. Yeah, without being too much, without being her own with being her own character, but still having the same spirit. Kind of like when you see different versions of Catwoman. Some are better than others, and yeah, you like them for different reasons. So yeah, in this version of our dear Cleopatra, she is a bad student, and her cat teachers constantly tell her that. But I love that she just causes so many interesting problems just because she is impatient. She's not exactly stupid as much as just incredibly reckless. And the best parts about this show are the snappy, quick humor, the constant, excuses and, sarcasm she comes up with to, explain her dumb decisions. It's really, really funny. And that's what makes her, really likable and rewatchable. The other characters do have these things, like the quick, comebacks and such, just not as well. I personally don't like her alien fish friend because I just find her too perky and her voice sounds too much like a kid. I mean, Cleo sounds like a teenager with a raspy voice. Her friend's was more high. And I kind of get tired of the do good, honest girl with perfect grades and all that. The chipperness is really wearing me down. Will say though, there is a cyborg kid, and I swear to God, I look at him and I see the love child of My Life as a Teenage Robot's Jenny and Brad. Okay, he looks just like Brad, but has blue eyes like Jenny and all kinds of crazy robotic powers like Jenny. He's not as cool as Jenny, but that could totally be her son. It's wild. So how does the action animation go? The action's alright by me. Not crazy impressive, but good enough. The animation is bright, and I do like the way they designed the characters, but yeah, I definitely think it has lots of great designs, but nothing is really like, oh my god, I want to stop and pause this and just examine it and such. Yeah, I gotta say, the dialogue is the strongest part for me. Does this mean I want other famous characters to get wacky reboots put into ridiculous scenarios? Well, I honestly did like Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. I think that makes me incredibly low class and cheesy, but here you go. Throw something in there, I don't know. Beethoven in space? No. Maybe Beethoven in modern New York, or maybe Beethoven in the 80s? I don't know, but I am curious. Oh, I do like the mixing of different time periods. And maybe it is just too easy to call back on nostalgic characters, but it's also, I don't know. I don't know where to draw. I'm tired of reboots, but I also think there's a lot of books and other material that would make amazing shows. So, do I think you should watch either one of these shows? The Amazing Adventures of Jules Verne? Not really. If you're not a big fan of the author, or yeah, if you're not a fan of the author, I don't think it's as special. If you really like cringe animation, then it's pretty good for that when you love to hate something. Do I recommend the Cleo Denial show? It's very pretty and very snappy. That is the best I can say for it. Story-wise, little cliche. But yeah, love animation.